Welcome everybody to the second event of Significant Content. My name is Chef van Beers.
And I'm Florian van Zandwijk, and together we initiated Significant Content as a platform that offers artist talks for social media content creators. Just like a significant figure in mathematics can make a difference in a calculation, the content of these creators can make a difference within the framework of a social media platform and reveal medium-specific characteristics of this platform.
These creators often deploy very clever tactics that make their content work well within the medium they're using. By outlining the content and methods of these creators, we meanwhile hope to unravel how social media platforms work beneath the surface.
And tonight we got two Instagram meme pages, This and the Blunt and Joan of Arca. As both these accounts sort of exist in the same realm, we are doing a roundtable talk at the end with both of them. And now, first we go into our first speaker, and that is This and the Blunt.
The Instagram meme page This and the Blunt could be considered a so-called shitposting account. The images uploaded to the page seem random and aimless, they don't really have a punchline, but are humorous nonetheless. The pictures and videos are nearly always screenshots or screen recordings from other places, resulting in a chaotic reflection of the online zeitgeist. Their handle This and the Blunt originates from a tweet from March 2020, that got turned into a meme, became a go-to comment on Instagram posts by similar accounts. Variants like this and a whatever popped up over the last couple of months, really. The profile picture is a basketball, released as a merchandise item for the film Uncut Gems. One of the things this movie really nailed is its 2012 setting. Not only does it feature The Weeknd as an upcoming artist, but its main character, Howard Ratner, played by Adam Sandler, can be seen using his iPhone 5 throughout the film. What makes it so authentic is that where many films use mock-up graphic user interfaces, Uncut Gems used the actual skeuomorphic operating system that was around back then, and Howard's iPhone is housed in a clunky case, obviously made by a third-party manufacturer. It's not how the iPhone 5 is portrayed in Apple's own marketing photos, and there, by the way, it'll be remembered canonically. But Uncut Gems actually paints a more realistic picture of what the phone looked like in actual use. And from this, you can draw some sort of parallel to much of the content that's being posted on This and a Blunt. Many of the content on the page comes from, or references, online culture from the past 10 to 5 years. These are images we have seen and forgotten about. They are not archived and celebrated by media institutions, but ultimately part of our online lived experiences and immediately recall certain sentiments. So welcome, admins of This and a Blunt, Anna and Liz.
Hello, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be in this talk.
We're super excited to have you. Well, we're gonna dig into how you run the page, but we thought it would be nice to start off with asking you how and what for did you start the account?
So we began the account in March of 2020 after many years of keeping all these images and videos to ourselves. We met in high school, in our junior year of high school. We became very, very, very close, and much of how we interacted with each other was based on references to a bunch of posts and videos that we would see online. So we've always carried internet culture very close with us since a very young age. For me personally, growing up in Brazil, I was not that exposed to American internet culture until I met Liz, who had been growing up on it for all of her life. So we very quickly bonded over our shared interests over these like humorous internet fragments. And we had seen a lot of other people just start these pages on their own without much thought. And we thought that we could do the same. We never had the intention of catering to an audience. We mostly just wanted a public place to keep all of the images and videos that we liked. And so we just decided to create the page and keep it within our immediate circle of friends. And through various successful accidents with the algorithm, around August of 2020, so a few months after we made the page, is when we started gaining a following. We had about 40 followers for the first 6 months, and only in August did we start gaining a following. And then in like a month, we had 10,000 followers, and it went up from there.
You just touched upon it a little bit, but yeah, you started the account recently, but you know each other already longer, and also you explained, like, Liz, you know more about American culture because you do come from the US, right?
Yeah, growing up, kept to myself a lot, so I was on the internet all the time. And I am American, so I was really around when like Rage Comics started, and like the beginning kind of like the spiral of like memes and like images for online jokes and references and stuff like that. And so it's almost kind of personal to me because I found a lot of joy in that. And I felt kind of the interconnectedness of the world, even when I was just on my own and stuff. And so bonding with that with Anna was always really fun because we both have different perspectives on the same interconnected
Yeah,
memes.
the same like internet sphere. I was always more exposed to Brazilian internet culture. But it was only when I met Liz that I was introduced to what is now like tons and tons of videos and images that are glued to both of our minds. And really introduced to a new type of humor, a new sense of humor, because the way that we approach these images and the way that they're funny, like what they communicate, is really interesting because it's a kind of humor that could have only spawned in the current era that we live. It's very self-referential nowadays. Most things that are funny are only funny because they've been like recycled and recycled and recycled over and over, and then the humor comes from referencing previous iterations of the image. That's usually the life cycle of any meme. And so having a type of sense of humor that bases itself on previous knowledge is something that's extremely interesting, because it kind of saves you the work of creating like constructed setups and punchlines and jokes, but doesn't take away from the value of the joke.
Yeah, it almost, like, also because you run the page together, you almost have like this shared vocabulary of all the references of like previous imagery.
And I think it's also funny how all these recycled images, it's kind of like very versatile. So I think it's easy for a lot of people to understand, even though you have to have like kind of like background knowledge of like previous memes and stuff like that. It's easy to catch on. And I think that's why we built our audience kind of quickly and also like kind of accidentally, is because I think a lot of people can relate to something as simple as like a cartoon like meme image that we've all seen before.
Right.
Even I know we have like some followers that don't speak Portuguese, and they'll see like an image that we've all seen, like the really common like bus image that's there with the two people on two different sides of the bus. The text will be in any language, but I mean, all the followers can laugh at it because it's referencing something that we're all experiencing right now through the internet.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because the bus image actually comes from a Brazilian cartoonist.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was created in 2013 as an attempt to create like a genuine emotional cartoon. And it's found itself, and that meme is not, it's been around for a long time. I've seen this happen before. I'm not sure if any of you remember, there was that meme that was circling many, many, many months ago, where you would take any sort of event object and you would divide it into timestamps. So there would be like a picture of a joint, and it would be like the first bit is like, I'm having fun with friends, and the rest is like, I'm spiraling and having a panic attack or something of the sort. That was also around for ages, but randomly it had a surge of popularity like a few months ago. And it was the same thing with the bus image. And it actually has a Brazilian origin, which is very interesting to me because I try to post as much Brazilian content as I can because it entertains the small number of Brazilian followers that we do have. It entertains myself. And I feel like even if there is like a big portion of our audience that is alienated from this form of content, I feel that the frustration they have with the language barrier is humorous to me. So I'll still keep posting it. And just as what I find fascinating about American internet culture is how self-referential it is. There's other aspects of Brazilian internet culture that are very specific to my country, referencing public figures, TV figures. It's also very self-referential, but it's self-referential less in joke format and more in specific characters and images that were viral videos from many years ago. It's more surreal and it lacks context too in a way. And so I find it important to share as much as any other forms of content. And in many cases, even as Liz said, even if there's like a language barrier, sometimes just you can identify the format of the meme and you can still interact with it even if you don't understand the language. Just seeing images and words pasted on top of each other, it's become, the internet is so overstimulating and there's so much content to see, and things saturate so quickly that your tolerance for what is or is not funny decreases to a point where if just a foreign language on top of a colorful image is already funny in it of itself.
Do you also see that people maybe in the comments and translate it for others to understand the meme if it is in Portuguese, or is there a certain translation of a meme sometimes happening within the comments itself, or is it just something that you have to get and otherwise you're lost?
Depends. It depends. If someone is kind enough to translate, I don't usually translate because I feel like I like to create a sort of inside joke within people who follow the page. And it was never my intention to have an American only audience. It just so happened to be that way because I guess of the algorithm. But I do see sometimes that people translate in the comments, and I always read the translations because translation is something that I find to be inherently extremely interesting because especially when it comes to internet, because when someone is translating something, the goal of the translator is to find words that have the exact same connotations and denotations as the original word. And that gets extremely hard with the internet because almost every single word that is used in a popular meme has decades of context and connotation. So that's something very difficult to do, especially in Portuguese too, because Brazilian memes in Portuguese have tons and tons and tons of slang. But I'm always very amused to see the translations that people come up with. I would love to share some with you, but I feel like it would be because you wouldn't understand the original word. It's hard to see like the artistry that is involved. But it's super interesting. Yes.
Maybe we should have a look at the memes, or do you want to ask something first?
Yeah, let's just get into basically the content routine. How do you post? You can definitely show some examples.
We actually were looking through our page and we kind of noticed the pattern of the kind of content that we find funny. And we divided what we wanted to show you into parts and kind of categorized. Yeah, so we have constructed jokes, which are like jokes that the person who created them made them with the intention of it being like a joke with a punchline, or a joke that just lands as a joke. And then we have others that are unintentional, which we called like failed seriousness, because we find that really funny too. And I think our followers like having both as an option when they find our stuff on their feed. So which one did you want to start with, Anna?
Yeah, we can do some of the failed seriousness videos.
Yeah.
Basically, this would be anything that is like a user uploaded video that did not have the intention of being humorous, but it fails in its original goal, and that's where the humor is created. I find this sort of content to be to some extent much more interesting because it's harder to saturate someone writing a joke on Twitter and then writing various iterations of the
It's
joke.
very like one of a kind. With constructed jokes, you can use the same format, or you can post the same thing just with a few different changes, and it'll be the same. But with the failed seriousness content that we have, it's very one of a kind, and we can't find a lot of things that are
that are like it.
just like it.
It's genuine in a way. It's genuinely
like this,
made.
for example.
All right.
Like, this is not the kind of thing that you could make intentionally at all. The editing, everything about it is hilarious because it's a failed attempt at this guy's failed attempt at creating like an amusing video, and it's just extremely hilarious. This is Brazilian singer Anitta doing something similar. Yeah, and so I'll play it again.
Especially
So-
the guy in the back is also nice.
It's just
really funny sometimes to watch people have the intention of putting on like a really impressive, like for in these examples, like a really impressive like move that they pull out, but the way it's received is like, oh,
But I feel
it's
like this one as
embarrassing
well.
almost.
But this is also, it's also that you're like,
So
you're
sweet.
isolating it because
Yeah.
like the TikTok video of the guy dancing probably had some caption that sort of would make clear what's the
Explain it,
difference
yeah.
between the lights on, light off, and like the singer doing the dance move that's just like a 4-second clip out of like a longer video. So I feel also like the sort of like cutting it out or like like framing it on your page again also makes it funnier in this way.
Right. Kind of having it as a spectacle, even like it enhances the kind of like failed part of it.
Right,
Because
exactly.
Yeah,
there's no explanation.
exactly. It reminds me, Liz and I used to watch a lot of Nathan For You in high school, and there's a part where Nathan points to a group of 4 people and he says, these are 4 people who you cut in front of. And we would take that clip and edit so it would just say yes, and these are 4 people. If you remove the, we would
that would always make us laugh so
that would
hard.
always make us
And
laugh.
the phrase itself, there's no joke, there's no
Punchline.
punchline, there's nothing that can land. But for some reason, having it isolated like that made it so funny to us.
Yeah, I can pull up the clip right now.
Yeah, I'm curious. I was just wondering, like, do you first send it to each other before posting it then? Like,
We
A lot of the time we do. Sometimes
we do.
we keep it a surprise for each other.
Oh yeah,
Because sometimes
we
I'll
know
go on
that
the page and I'll be like, what was this? This was not me. And it'll be hilarious.
I'll send it to Liz if I know it's something specific to her interests. So before I posted this, I sent this to Liz because I knew this was very specific to what she finds funny. It's because like I know that everything that I post she would also find funny because we have similar tastes for these things. But I will usually only send it to her if it's extremely specific to an interest of hers.
I remember I think I saw that MIA story before you did. But the picture of her going nature serve, that's also in our folder of failed seriousness pictures that we have, because I'm not sure if she had the intention of being that funny when she posted that. but first the quality of the image, the really iconic like Instagram font that it's just the basic font, the watermelon, and the fact that Anna and I like MIA, our followers also like MIA. But I remember I sent this to her because I knew she would find it funny, and she's such a big fan of MIA, so it just lined up perfectly. And I know MIA didn't have maybe she didn't have the intention of posting this image on her story and being like, yeah, this will definitely get reposted on a meme page. But it was something that I think we know we would find funny, and so we posted it for the audience because they also have similar tastes to us. But there's also,
Liz, you want to talk about this one?
yeah, this one's really funny. I remember posting this, and I also thought it was a regular cat. But looking at the comments, I think some people were identifying it as a cat that is supposed to be in the zoo. I'm not sure. But I think it's just so funny. The images that people will take in their day-to-day life, and then they'll add like just like Instagram text, or like Snapchat text is also another one that people add on a lot to make some kind of like,
Observation.
again, isolated, like out of context image, and then putting like an explanation, except the explanation isn't an explanation at all. It's just
like
furthers the confusion.
But I also think like Chef was also pointing on it already a bit, but like it is isolated by them, but then because you isolated within your page, and then having the context of your page, it also sort of amplifies the fun of it, or the weirdness of something that people are doing online. And I think that's also funny to see how that sort of works on and on in your account, in your collection of all these images and videos and such.
I think with TikTok now too, there's also like, I'm gonna send you this post right now, Anna.
Oh yes, this class.
So I've been planning to post this one, but this one is really, really funny.
Yeah.
It's also
it's really a slice of life also.
It is give that slice of life feel to it. And I think like, I just remember being in situations like this, like as young as elementary school. In American public schools, they always have these things that are like anti-drugs, or like, I don't know, anti-bullying, but they'll gather every student into the gym and do some kind of like stunt performance for no reason. And so there's been this kind of meme going around where it's like, what does this have to do with anti-drugs, or what does this have to do with anti-bullying? There's another one with like someone doing like extreme biking.
I can try to find it.
And I think it's funny too, because you can see that it was obviously posted on TikTok, so the screenshot of it is isolating it, just like you said, into that moment of he's in midair, and it's just like a capture of something that's like like almost like, what does this have to do with anti-bullying?
It's like so
but
true,
it's also so relatable. We've all been in high school having these sort of
it's like an exaggerated
things for like. Yeah, so
I was wondering,
I just remembered that.
Failed
did you have
seriousness.
Did you have any other categories?
So we have another one that we made. Well, other than the failed seriousness images, there's also images that are constructed jokes, which they start to get really interesting and meta. So this one.
Oh yeah. I think it originated with like the dinosaurs.
The dinosaur with the oil. Yeah. There was
like dinosaurs turn into oil, and then the oil turns into plastic, and that becomes a plastic.
There's
just for our like viewers who might not be.
This one too, the chicken. Oh
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Now I recognize it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have recognized it. I didn't recognize it first, but this one I knew.
Yeah, so this is a simulacrum. I think the
Yeah.
theory concept that it's based on, I forgot who wrote that. Was it Lacan? I don't think it was Lacan. But it's really funny because you're taking like a very academic concept and applying it to first of all, you're applying it to something inherently stupid like dinosaurs or chicken nuggets. So that's already funny. But then you're referencing the stupid dinosaur meme in a meta meme that talks about internet culture in and of itself. So it's sort of like the self-referencing gets like nauseating, but not in necessarily a bad way. It's just there's just so much to talk about and so much to reference that it just keeps eating itself over and over and over.
Yeah.
There's this other one that I like. It says how beautiful. Wait, it says how beautiful he is resting, which in Portuguese, which of course references the Kafka novel. Again, like the juxtaposition between like a very academic and intelligent book reduced to the internet. That's why I feel like a lot of times, especially like on early TikTok, because I was on TikTok since, both me and Liz were on TikTok since like late 2018, and we got off it like around 2020. But a lot of the videos that were blowing up originally were like were satirizing history concepts and reinterpreting them as like skits, you know, like when you take some like a historic, especially like even Sophie's account, like Joan of Arca, you take like a historical event, but you dumb it down to like modern day words. It's very funny. It's the same thing. Like you take a very academic concept and you dumb it down to internet culture.
I think it's also funny because I notice when the kind of thrill that you get when you understand, oh yeah, this is like Kafka, this is like really intelligent, but I also understand the reference. I feel like there's a lot of people, you can notice a lot of people in the comments feeling almost like empowered when they understand something that's being posted. And I think that's also really, I think that's a lot more within the constructed jokes section.
Yeah, also sort of like the mismatch between like the dumbest joke you can make and sort of high culture, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Like here, like people are very happy that they get this reference. Like, oh, I have like a pic of Piss Christ from Art for Magazine taped to my wall on this meme about this art thing. This is why like there's many accounts, including ours, that have a lot of success because of like their music related posts. Like we have so many music related posts. Like this isn't Azealia Banks reference.
Right. I think that the more niche a meme page can be, the more followers can feel like kind of
like they're in on a joke,
a community. Yeah.
Like you
and
get
so
to feel
it gives
special
you,
because you get
it's
it.
almost it's almost even funnier because you feel included in it and because you know you understand it. And I think that's why a lot of niche meme pages are rising or are gaining followers so quickly, is because the followers feeling like they're included on a joke and they have a page where it's jokes about something that they know well. It brings people together, I guess.
Did you have like any more categories? Because I think we have time for maybe one or two more posts. Like if you could just like show two more examples, then
I'll just do it very quickly. This is just out of context photographs is something that we put like pictures that things that we found on the street or on the internet, but that weren't posted before by someone who thought it was funny. So like
it's all things that we've just stumbled upon.
Like this was just I was looking for the Sophie logo, and the Google suggested similar images, and this was one of them, and I thought that was funny. Or this ad for Charlie XCX and Addison Rae meetup, and then me at the meetup.
Wow.
And like this that I saw on a wall. It's just, or this is from Liz's class.
Oh, yeah, this is really funny.
Yeah, so it's just kind of I feel like it relates to that kind of like slice of life thing that we find funny with the failed seriousness, except it feels even more rare because we were the ones to stumble upon it.
Yeah.
Like the
And
sign
it's-
outside my dorm.
yeah.
But also like
think
the one,
that's-
like the Charlie XCX advert, like that's also sort of like MIA's nature surf. Like they think like, oh, this is gonna look so cool, but then it really doesn't, and it's
Yeah, but I
Or
also
it's
think
just really
it does
funny.
look cool. Yeah, it's just funny that that she's doing all this branding things.
I
But,
think when like our meme account is so based on like iconography or like idols, I guess, that we like care about. So I think even if we just saw like a picture of Kate Bush like on a wall, it could be like the most beautiful picture ever, but if we saw it in the most random place, it would be funny because it's like that feels so perfectly placed for us right now, and it feels like, how could I have stumbled upon this? And
yeah,
it's
like
something that is in our like little
our little
subculture or
circle.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
So
just
I
really
think it's just it become, there's some things that are funny because it's personal, and I think a lot of our followers can also agree that when it's a reference to something that's like that they find personal, it's more enjoyment that they find from it because it feels specific for them. It feels personal.
yeah.
like
Like it makes you feel as if you're in on the joke and you're sort of connected to this community.
Yeah.
I think that's really what helps our account grow in the end, is that there's a lot of people with similar taste, and it feels nice to be in a community where we're all making jokes about similar things.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like sort of because everyone's on Instagram, that platform sort of allows for these communities to come into existence, I guess. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you back in the roundtable discussion.
Our second guest is Joan of Arca, and Joan of Arca is named after both the historical figure Joan of Arc and experimental electronic musician and queer icon Arca. The page is not so much a fan page, like for instance fans of One Direction or BTS run, posting only images of their idols. But it is as much a meme page as This and a Blunt. Their memes do often focus on the music scene surrounding Arca or other artists, but also cover contemporary online culture and references to 2010s digital nostalgia. Joan of Arca posts with very high frequency and is one of a certain subgroup of Instagram icons that publish many text-heavy posts, such as screenshots from the story feature app or like Whisper. And last August, New York Times reporter Taylor Lawrence wrote about accounts like these. A growing ecosystem of Instagram accounts has embraced this text-heavy posting style, which has exploded in popularity among Gen Z users during the pandemic. The trend has transferred Instagram, the photo and video-based app owned by Facebook, into a network of microblogs and a destination for written expression. In this way, accounts like Joan of Arca have subverted the modus operandi of Instagram from a carefully curated display of one's personal brand, where one might post a couple of times a week at most, but more likely a couple of times a month or even a year, to a high-paced, sometimes anonymous stream of consciousness, more like the text-based platform of Twitter. So, welcome to you, Joan of Arca.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
So we should say you're Sophie. That's your real name.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes, my name is Sophie.
Welcome, Sophie.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was just wondering about the last few days. How were the last few days with Arca dropping 3 albums in, I believe, 2 days?
Yes, it was crazy. I have not listened to Kick 4 yet, but it's because I've just been busy today. I'm really excited. It's been great talking with all my friends about it. The thing I really do like about running a meme page and being on the internet is making a lot of friends who are interested in the same things I'm interested in. And we're able to talk. I'm able to talk to people I never would have been able to talk to growing up or like where I live now. So I've been having a lot of fun talking in Discord about it and also with my friends on the internet.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Also, I think we should say, like, we're filming this December 2nd, so that's
Oh.
why we're talking about how the Kick albums are dropped and also why the Buzz meme is popular, because we're streaming this December 16th, so that's in 2 weeks
Yeah.
from now.
Which is a very long time on the internet.
Or I should say it's 2 weeks ago that we're filming this and we're streaming it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so where were we?
Yeah, we just talked about the Kick albums, like the online event we're in our time now. Maybe because you post so much, we were wondering, how do you decide what to post and like what's appropriate and on what interval, all that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of thought that goes into it, but I really do treat it like a diary, and it's just like a personal collection of images and like, I don't know, I wouldn't say personal statements, but I'm really just speaking my mind. And if people like it, they like it, and if they don't, they don't. But I do try to post frequently because, well, first of all, I just have a lot of ideas, or I see a lot of things that I think are funny, and I want to post them. But also, I do want to like be active and make sure that like I'm not, slacking. I guess if I sort of see it as a transactional thing too. I don't know. I want to make sure that like I'm being engaged with my followers. But also it's like I have a lot in my mind, and there's a lot of things that I like to see, that I see that I think are funny and I want to post. But as far as the process of like deciding what I want to post, I'm not all meme admins are like this, but I try to post things that I think won't be super controversial, because I can be a sensitive person, and because it's like a diary, I sometimes think like the posts are a personal reflection of myself. So I try to post things that I think are not appropriate, but that everyone will enjoy it or not be too offended by. I guess I'm a little bit afraid of that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine that, because it's a lot of people that are following you and also maybe know who you are, and I can imagine that
Yes.
also sort of.
I do have a lot of followers who know me in real life, and that has been really interesting. Because those people had not seen me since before COVID, so they've been able to see how I've changed through these posts, and it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and also what I wanted to ask you is because in a talk with Anna and Liz, we at some point it was about being an insider and knowing like, okay, I know this reference, so I get the meme, let's say. Like for you, like where do your memes come from, and like how does it work in your page? Do you have the same? Happens the same for you as well, or in your?
Yeah. I can relate to that for sure. I do have another person who has access to the account, but he doesn't really post. So I don't really like share. He shares the same sense of humor and interests as I do, but I don't really consult with him a lot. So it's really just thinking about the things that I used to make me laugh, or I unironically liked when I was on Tumblr as a young teenager. So yes, sorry, could you repeat the question? I just forgot.
No, I think that goes into it.
Yeah, kind of, and also maybe could you sort of like for people who might not have seen your account, like if you would sort of have to set the scene or sort of tell what your memes are built up upon, like
Yeah.
what would be the thing that you're into? Like, what's it about?
Yeah. So I would say it's a mix of out of context images, stuff from that I've actually like diary like text posts about things I'm experiencing, or like just Twitter just like short little blurbs of like what I'm thinking or my opinion on things. But I think the most interesting thing is early Tumblr and queer. I'm really interested in internet queer discourse and how that has evolved and how it's coming back through TikTok as well. That's really interesting to me because I lived through that and I participated in that. And it's funny to see it come up again in different
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, I
And
think that's
like Liz and Anna said, it can be so self-referential and like funny in so many ways because it gets reposted and modified and like referenced, and it's funny because like they said, if you get the joke, you get the joke, and it feels a little special
yeah.
and nostalgic.
Yeah, I think there was a tweet once where someone said adults who are now in a TikTok phase who didn't go through a Tumblr phase is like wearing adult braces, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So I'm interested in that because I was such a nerd when I was a younger teenager, and I had friends, but like I really did like spend a lot of time on Tumblr and the internet and in fandom culture. I'm really interested in that. I was a big Sherlock fan as a young teenager.
They have a
So
huge
anything,
Tumblr community, right?
yes, yes, it does. So anything that references that, I'm really interested in like Tumblr fake stories, which I do post a lot on this account, which are basically like stories that people would post on Tumblr um, that often deal with, I would say, um, the queer experience, or just like fandom experience and like being ostracized because of that. But they come up with like fake stories where they're usually heroic in the end, and everybody claps, and
Yeah.
I find those really nostalgic and funny because I used to look at those when I was that age and be like, wow, that's amazing, good for them, and then I'd like reblog it. And now it's just funny looking back at those. I have a lot of favorites from that time.
Maybe we can
Yeah, I think
look
we,
at
we should
one.
look at some
Yeah.
of them. Can
Yeah,
you
I
share
have
your
some.
share
I
your
can show
screen?
you. Yes, let me pull it up. Um, and when I say Tumblr as well, I also like older internet culture like Reddit, and other or images in general that remind me of Tumblr discourse or like Tumblr-esque people.
Yeah.
I'll also enjoy. Okay.
Yeah, sort of like the early 2010s, sort of
Yes,
teen angst. Yeah.
it's very nostalgic for me because I was there, so
Yeah.
Mm.
and like
Yeah.
I felt so. I kind of felt special at the time because I'm the only person in my school who like understands Tumblr and like understands like this intellectual like
I'm not
community
like
we
other
have.
girls.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
Yeah.
really was like that just because I had no friends. So yeah. But one of my favorites is this one. It's called I can't even remember. It's a Starbucks. It's a fake Starbucks story about ace phobia. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with like asexual discourse. Um,
Not so
so
much.
basic,
Yeah.
not so much. Okay, we don't have to talk about this one, but
No,
basically,
but you can explain it. That'd
it's
be
just a
nice.
ridiculous story.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is not even the right one. This one is another
It's
Starbucks
another
story.
fake
There's
story
too
at
many
Starbucks.
Starbucks ones. But this one is about a Hamilton fan who goes to Starbucks um, and says their name is Hamilton, and then they fangirl with the barista about how they both like Hamilton. And it's just like looking back, it's very clear that this did not happen. Um, And it just like, and if just like imagining it in your head, you cringe because it's like, oh no, like if you imagine witnessing this in real life, it would be awful, I think, but there's just no way this ever happened. And it's also just the format too, like the Tumblr, the classic Tumblr font, the way that it's been screenshotted at least like 50 times, the faded text, and just like the like sort of classic Tumblr, where I'll have like a name and then a colon, like a sort of like script-like format, which I don't know, is nostalgic for me and I enjoy that. Yeah. I also really like old Reddit posts. I don't know if any of you have seen this one, but it's very humorous. Just like ridiculous. I like when people admit ridiculous things on these like in these like niche communities, and don't really expect people to think it's funny. But of course it's very funny. And here are some actual Tumblr edits that I made when I was like, yeah, in 2015, I made these myself based on like Lana Del Rey lyrics and Halsey lyrics, which are very Tumblr-esque. So these are just so awful and like very like angsty teen. Like I don't know, like it's just really embarrassing. But just like looking at this again,
I still find it embarrassing now.
Oh, I find him embarrassing to this day. Yes, but
But I think there's also a beauty to it, right?
Yeah.
It's like
no,
an anonymous way of well,
Yeah, I feel like that, like for a lot of people are also kind of like past it. I think Laura Les of 100 Gags, she's like 26, 27 now. I think she explained once that like when she was a teen, she was listening to Skrillex and some other like I think some hardcore bands, and then when she got into her early 20s, she was like, oh, that's kind of embarrassing that I liked it back then. But then at this point, she's like, no, you know what? I was into it then. I'm still kind of into it. It's cool. I'm just like, I'm going to own it.
yeah,
I feel like also with this, you could kind of be
Yeah.
like, okay, you know,
I think-
I was that teenager, but you know,
Yeah.
I did have those
Yeah.
reblogs. I did have those notes on
it's
Tumblr.
sort of like a feeling I have where I am ashamed of it and embarrassed, but the reason I share it is because I know a lot of people like this sort of thing, and the comments are like, oh, I remember this, or I reblogged this, and it's like, the thing I really do like about running a meme page is the community, and making friends with people or talking to people I never talked to. And just like with Liz and Anna, I didn't really know anything about Brazilian culture, and now I do. And it's a lot of it's still lost on me, but I still like, they're still like probably like my favorite meme page. So I don't know, I just like learning about people's experiences through their memes or through what they comment on. So yeah.
I was also really laughing because I could also read the Discord screenshot.
The comments?
It was like,
Oh, the
Exactly, all
archive.
your photos, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. I mean, I get a lot of content from a Discord as well, the Arca Discord. But this is just a screenshot from an academic paper that argues that drone strikes are queer, and I find that to be very funny.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in the over intellectualizing and the over like just making something academic, and just like having the most insane takes in an academic setting is really interesting to me.
It's like
And this
academic
is just
ping
very
posting.
yeah, I mean, it's very Tumblr-esque, even though it's not from Tumblr, and that's why it's in this folder.
Oh yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, so
How do you work then? Because there's so many, there are quite some sources. So you have Tumblr and you have all the. So how does
I
your,
get stuff from everything.
yeah? So how does a day look like collecting all these images or finding these images? It's just
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's go back to the top. I get a lot of stuff from Twitter, people's things that people post that I tag them in. This is another sort of Tumblr-esque thing because I did have a K-pop phase when I was 14. So I find it, I love fandom culture, and I love the seriousness they have and like the willingness they have to like defend their favorite artists and the communities they create, because I used to do that too. And I love how serious they are. And then this image is just funny because like that's the BTS symbol in the brain, but someone in the comments said that's what schizophrenia looks like, which I don't know if that's true or not, or maybe it's a tumor, but I don't know. So I love like fandom stuff. So I look through for that a lot. I'd like to look at like current events, stuff that like my friends talk about, like in our group chats and stuff. I like to post stuff from that. Music, I don't know, like actual pictures of my friends. And of course TikTok, I get a lot of stuff from TikTok as well. But it's really just like a bunch of random stuff. I don't think a lot before I post. I don't think I'm as calculated or as creative as some other meme pages are. It's really like a diary and like a collection of things I like. And I don't always think they're funny either. I just post them. It's very impulsive. But yeah, and also I do post sometimes if like, and I think a lot of other pages do this, but if like, what I really like about it too is like the followers like to make memes about the pages too, which is really like sweet and like nice. So I like to post those too. Yeah, someone made a genius page for my Among Us parody I made in like June. It's 212 parody. So I don't know. That's just like very sweet to me that like someone would do this. I don't know. But yeah, I look at as many sources as I can. I just like naturally, like I'm always on these apps anyway, and I see stuff and then I post it.
And you
Yeah.
like you make original content as well, right? Yourself.
I do, yeah. Right now it hasn't been super original because it's near the end of the semester for me. But in the summer I used to make a lot of memes about my job, which I work as a janitor in a dorm at my college. So I don't know. I just think it's funny that a janitor would listen to the kind of music I listen to or like have a meme page. So I was making a lot of memes about that. I don't know. I have some more saved.
Yeah, I think like we were talking before. Did you have you use a specific? I think in our pre-interview we were talking about this one app that you use to.
There we go. So start. Yeah. So this is the app I use. It was famously used by Lana Del Rey to make many of her album and single covers. So I've made a couple memes based on that, but it's very useful. You can do a lot with it without even paying. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna work with. This is something I made a while ago, but this is the original picture. So this is like, I don't even know how to describe this, like a Facebook meme, like kind of woke art culture, which I also think is really funny, like fake deep art. It's really interesting. So I'm just gonna edit this. So what I do is I can add photos. So in this one, I'm adding this picture of Marina and the Diamonds, FK Twigs, Florence Welch, and Lana Del Rey. This is just like kind of an iconic picture in like gay internet culture, I guess, if you're into this kind of music. So I'm gonna replace one of the photos with this. And then I'm gonna, oops, sorry. There's so many features I like click on the wrong thing. Then I'm going to add this picture of Sophie. And I'm just gonna, it's really easy to use. You can like modify the shapes and stuff like that. It's really, yeah, it's great. So,
and it's also kind of extra funny that like all pictures are being super stretched out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes it look even worse.
Exactly.
Which is the goal. Like, it's good when it's been screenshotted many times. Then I'm gonna put this Arca like mutant cover as one of the posters, replacing this. And then let's see, what else can I do with this? Oh yeah, So then I'm adding Pop 2 by Charlie XCX as another, replacing the goals, away the gold image. Pop 2, again, is very iconic, like hyper pop, like iconic album in gay culture. So I think that's all of the pictures I'm gonna add to for the. Oh no, wait! I'll probably add another one. It could be anything really. Like literally any picture would work. I can put this Family Guy picture here. Replace this with the Family Guy female edit, which is just extra great because someone took the time to like draw that, which I really appreciate. Like you can tell it took a long time to make, so I appreciate that as well. So now I think I have most of like the PixArt aspect, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Snapchat, and yeah, ignore my selfies. I'm gonna take this, and then what I do is I have like a lot of pre-made stickers that I use for like certain memes.
Right.
Yeah, I have this in a blunt profile picture. I have a lot of profile pictures of my friends. I don't know how to use Photoshop, so this is like something that anyone can do because like there's Bjork's daughter. Yeah, just like something that anyone can do because I don't know. It's like I think a lot of people have Snapchat, but most people probably don't have these really good editing skills that a lot of meme pages have. So I just sort of go with it. So I'm gonna add a Telfar bag and replace it with the Yves Saint Laurent. Replace the Yves Saint Laurent bag.
But then this is useful because like you want something like you want to cut out stuff and have a transparent background. So like
I can show you how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really easy. You just like go like this, and then like I mean, yeah, I'll add this to the meme.
That's so smart because like it even takes more time in Photoshop
Yeah,
to do that.
exactly,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like super easy, and that's like part of the reason why I can make stuff really quickly. But yeah, sorry. Oh, there it is. So then I'm also gonna add. This is one of my favorite things I've made. In like trying to like photo edit. I gotta find it though because I have a lot of these. Where is it? Yeah, I have like some insane stuff in here, so just really insane.
Such a great collection. All these stickers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. I made an Arca body pillow, and I'm trying to find it. Like those like anime body pillows, which I do own, so that's a little bit funny, nostalgic for me. But where is it? Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I guess I can show you part of the process of me making this then. Okay, so I just looked up body pillow maker. So I'm gonna go into that and I'm gonna upload an image. Oops, sorry, not. I'm gonna upload an image. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna upload an image of Arca and the Kick One album cover. Hopefully this will work. Did it not work? Okay, well I'm gonna try it again.
It's so good that you use this company thing,
I know.
printing pillows as your way to produce
Maybe it's not
pillows
gonna
image.
work, but otherwise I can use a different service because the thing I like about making these is I really just do it on the spot. So like I use like a lot of different things if it doesn't work out. So I'll just look up just look up a body pillow maker, and like a lot of stuff should come up. Yeah, I don't know if this the one I was using. No, it was.
Okay.
Come on. Sorry, with the so ridiculous. I think this was actually the one I used. So I'm gonna add design, add image. There must be so many companies that have my data because I use these so much. But whatever, it's
Also
working.
quite random. What you upload.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just try to make this look normal. Okay.
That's
And
perfect.
then
fit.
one. Okay, so yeah, here we have it. Okay. Oh, here we have it. So I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm going to go back into Snapchat. I'm going to do this. I'm going to save and replace, and this helps like save your like it just doesn't it's easy, it makes you like not use as much of your like storage, I guess. Sorry, I'm not being very eloquent. But then yeah, I'm
like
gonna just
flatten
use
layer in Photoshop almost. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna use this like Snapchat thing to like cut out the pillow. Because I imagine like this girl would have one, or at least I would. So, oh no, see, there's like you like run into a lot of issues with these, obviously. So.
Oh, like
shoot.
it got cut
Oh
out.
no, yeah, I cut out, but
No, we get the point. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the point. I'll just add it. You can see most of it anyway. So yeah. Oh, what the? Oh, it's here. Okay. Well,
Also, even kind of funny that like the text is
throw
cut
the
off now.
throw the pillow down. Yeah, I guess it makes it even funnier because like you can't even read the entire like line up front. And then yeah, I just would download it, and then that's basically it. So I just use a lot of different things. I don't know. This I made this meme like a few months ago, but
Yeah, no, this is very impressive to see you live in action.
oh, thank you. There are a lot of other accounts who do very like advanced stuff. Like World of Garbage does a lot of really interesting like editing, like audio stuff. Like it's insane. So I don't really have any skills. I'm an amateur, and like that's kind of the same thing with my meme page. It's all like amateur, just like for fun sort of thing. But like I don't really know how I got popular because I made my account in like April 2021, and I don't know. But yeah, it's really just like having fun.
Maybe it's just because of this approach, because I would have never expected it was something like this, that you would go to these services to create something and then all these different layers build up from different apps. I think that's a skill on its own. If you compare it to the time it
Oh,
would take in
thank you.
Photoshop to make something like this, it's really impressive actually. I think it's so fast and it's so effective. That's really what you get from it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I I like being able to like to use a bunch of different sources and like random services, and you discover a lot. Um, but I don't know. I like the body pillow. It's actually great quality. Like
Yeah.
it looks like
Yeah.
like look how like cleanly it like cut it out. I didn't even like I just like did a little circle and did that. So I really recommend using Snapchat for meme editing. But yeah, PixArt is good. It has so many features without having to pay. And you used to be able to just screenshot things while using the premium feature, but now you can't do that anymore. So, but I really recommend PixArt.
It's
Yeah.
just the start of the meme
It's
and
a
then
great
finish
tip.
it up in Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, some other questions. Let's see, otherwise, should we go to the roundtable, or do you
Yeah,
have
maybe.
something else?
I think this is a really great
Yeah,
segue. To
maybe
the
this is a
panel
good
talk.
moment
Yeah.
for Liz and Anna to join in again.
Okay, cool. Should I stop
Thank you so
screen
much,
sharing?
Sophie.
Of course, thank you.
I think the first question that we'd like to discuss with all three of you was like, when did your page grow, and how do you think that happened? Like, what caused it to gain a big following?
For us personally, it started to grow around August of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Liz was living in Brazil up until June of 2020. And so the last text that I sent her on her old Brazilian number is that, I don't know if you can see it, but it says that we almost have 500 followers. And we were really excited about almost having 500 followers. This was like a little over a year ago.
How much you have now? Like 50?
57,300. Yeah, and so it was we have no idea how we got lucky with the algorithm. We had a few posts that blew up. One of them was making fun of people who would, what kind of albums were they, Liz?
We were making a lot of fun of what's it
It was like
called?
folk punk, right?
Bedroom pop.
Bedroom pop and folk punk.
Bedroom pop. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
mean, at the time we were making fun of a lot of things, and I think stirring up those like controversies kind of got a lot of people to go under the posts trying to defend or trying to be like, yeah, I actually agree with this and I don't know why everyone loves this. Or it's like we started a lot of like conversations just like kind of because it was entertaining for us. We never really like were so passionate about dissing anything, but somehow it was so funny to put it out there and let them see what people would do with it. And I think that helped our account grow a lot. And it was surprising because TikTok was really getting bigger, and I think things were being put out more for people to discuss and be like, I think people were getting braver, honestly.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And yeah, when we got the Arca follow, that really ushered in a lot of people.
That was a big milestone.
That's the milestone of my life.
And I actually remember,
yeah.
And I actually remember when we first began, there was a different circle of meme pages because Transpilled was a very iconic meme page at the time that I really loved, and I was always like, oh, I want them to follow me, like, because they were really big and they had so many admins and they were posting nonstop, and I was like, this is really a cool like reflection of how easy it is to use the internet and how easy it is to just post something and let it live on its own almost. And so there was a whole different circle, and I think once we started like catching up to those people, and we also caught up with like extra stinky Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie, who
we were making connections with other people in that circle, and I think that also helped us gain our followers because they would reshare our stories our posts onto their stories. And because our page was similar but still offered something new, we gained a lot of the same followers.
There's a statistic that Instagram gives us that says that 50% of our followers also follow on a downward spiral.
Right,
so that's a lot. That's like 50% is a lot. The people who follow these pages are all in the same circles, which also it makes it good. That's the good thing for us and for the people who follow them, because you start to see that a lot of these pages are self-referential, but like within each other, not only within the page. So like following one page gives you context for another. Extra Stinky, now her handle is Rip Claro. She used to have a lot more followers. She got taken down a few times, but I met her on Omegle. I didn't meet her on our meme page. We met on the Omegle Grimes tag, and we were logging off, and I asked for her Instagram, and she's like, oh, actually I have my normal one and I have like a meme page. And I was like, funny thing. So she had 400 followers and we had 40, and because we were interacting so much, it was like a symbiotic thing where we both blew up around the same time. So that's really how it is. Like Cardi XCX Anthony, I met him, he didn't have a meme page. We talked him into making one, and just out of us promoting his posts, he's like one of the main ones of that circle now. It really like, it's crazy how big pages interacting with you will like please the algorithm, and also like people are gonna follow it because it's just similar content, but also like not repetitive. Like all of our whole like meme circle, like my internet friends, all of our internet friends, we all make like similar stuff, but I still feel like each page has something individual to offer, so that you're not getting like just like a regurgitation of the same things over and over again.
Yeah. Sophie, how was it for you? When did you grow, and what do you think caused it?
I made the page in, I think, April 2021. I made it with my friend. We were really inspired by This in a Blunt, actually, and some other pages that we followed. And I don't know, it was at a time where like my friends were leaving school and going back home for the summer. And I was all alone because I was staying on campus. And in the summer, I tend to feel like I don't have a purpose because I'm not doing schoolwork. So I was like, this could be like a fun creative outlet for me. So yeah, I just posted like a lot, even though I had no followers. I I think I started gaining a following within like the month, but not significantly. I mean, I think it's even hard to remember because it happened so fast. Like my page grew in so incredibly fast. It's like hard to process it. But I think within the first month, I was in the hundreds, like the later hundreds. And I think I achieved this by getting lucky, and also I commented a lot on other people's posts using the meme page. Like other meme pages, I would comment on my meme page, just like random things. And then some people saw my comments and followed me, and then were mutuals with people with bigger pages, and those people with bigger pages saw my memes and then reposted them. So I was first reposted by like Extra Stinky or Rip Claro, and it was a meme about back when like the Among Us couple was like big. I was like a meme about that, and like she reposted that because she's a fan of that, and that got me a lot of followers. And then On a Downward Spiral reposted me, and that definitely helped a lot. But I guess what like pushed me over 10K followers was definitely the whole like Courtney Love incident where she like reposted a bunch of our memes, and said like basically just like tagged us, and then I got a lot of followers from that. And that was kind of crazy, but it happened really, really fast. I mean, I think the Courtney Love thing happened in like early summer, if I'm correct, or July or June. So like before that, I was already like close to 10K. But I would say like Liz and Anna said, like being reposted by bigger accounts and interacting with bigger accounts is, I think, the most like the easiest way to grow fast, is like establishing like a friendship with someone like that who has like a more of a following, and then them like sharing your work and like interacting with them. Like I definitely have like so many accounts to like thank for that. But I think, yeah, just becoming friends with other meme pages helped me.
Yeah, and like you say, becoming friends, but I think that's not just like reposting each other's content. Like I heard there are also
Yeah.
like some group chats with all these niche internet
Yeah.
micro celebrities such as yourself.
Yes. I never like I've had like internet friendships, but like not really. And like I feel like I don't know, like I talk to them every day, and like they're like very important to me, and like I learn a lot from them. And like, you know, just like I learned like when I'm posting memes, like what people say, like they teach me things, or like people DM me all the time random stuff, and that's like just like funny. But like I don't know, it's like great to like form a relationship and like learn about people's lives, and like how their like upbringing and like their like situation like influences their content and stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, like I just for Thanksgiving right now, I went to Montreal and I met World of Garbage and Rip Claro, like Jackie and Riley. And we had only known each other from the internet before that. So it's like I think one of the most grateful things I'm for, like, is just you meet a lot of people through the internet. And I think that's something that our generation specifically has the privilege of doing. And I just think
Yes.
it's really amazing. I think it's a really cool aspect that comes with having like a big social like online presence.
Yeah, and like I consider you and like so many other like people like my like genuine like friends. Like I really
Yeah,
like I really do. Like it's awesome. And
I
like I
think
don't know,
it's
I
also
talk
like,
about so much.
yeah, I feel like especially our generation has had so much practice because like what you were saying about like Tumblr fandom stuff, I was also involved in similar things to that, and I think starting from like such a young age, we've practiced this whole new way of making friends through the internet, and it has its a whole language of its own. And I think it's really interesting to see
Yeah.
how it evolves and how now it's even the friendships that we make now are even more substantial. But if I hadn't had been so adamant about making friends on the internet when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have developed this like um language that I have um when I that I use when I talk to friends that I know I can only contact through the internet.
Yeah, and I guess like especially as a teenager, like the stuff you do on the internet is very private and it's very close to you. So when someone else has that in common, like it cuts really deep, right? Or at least like I think like I have a friend and then we found out later that we were both on the same Kanye West fan forum, and then you immediately have some like shared history with each other, even though you just met or know each other for a shorter period of time.
I also know of a lot of other meme page circles that are outside of the circle that we are in. And I've also heard them speak of similar like things where the way they grew was also because they made a lot of friends and had group chats where like they talked about what their stuff was about, and like it's just kind of like the connections that you make amongst creators like really matters for how many people you're reaching and who the people you're reaching are.
It's also oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say also it's also like incredible, like I've been able to like actually like talk with and like interact with like people like I've idolized before.
True, like
or like artists, like
Arca
musicians
herself.
I really like.
Yeah, Arca herself.
Like
that's crazy to me still.
And like it's like yeah, like Bjork's daughter follows me for some reason. Like it's just so funny.
Us too. She follows so many.
Yeah, it's like insane. Like it's so
we post about Bjork.
She liked. I posted a meme that was a meme about Bjork liking bestiality, and she liked.
I remember that. It's so funny. And you get like special insights on like what's going on, like
I know, like imagine
like
seeing
that
about your mom, like
yeah, like Michelle Visage, who's the judge of RuPaul's Drag Race. Her daughter follows me, and one time I posted like a RuPaul like meme about like the RuPaul game, like that's on the like app store or whatever, and she commented like, "Yas, hashtag being forced to write this," or like hashtag slay, like basically I hope she doesn't, she probably won't see this, but it's really, you get like a special insight
you do
on like things like that, and then you can, I don't know, it like validates like the content you make, and it's really cool to like meet people. But I mean, for sure the friendship's the most important thing for me, but like it's so cool to like interact with like people you like have idolized or like really respect.
Because if I were to reach out to these people with my personal account, it would not get anywhere. But because there's this following, and because it's also like kind of like our lives, like me and Anna are behind the account, but you don't really know that until you like click on the accounts that are tagged in the bio and stuff.
Yeah,
like
we don't have like super strong personalities.
It's like a connection. It's like a connection that you make with someone that you idolize, but it's also like on another level.
Yeah, it's like when
it's really interesting, I think.
Yeah, like
I like
oh sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like the Pitchfork writer that got really mad at us because I made a meme.
Oh god, I was in Pitchfork too.
Yeah, I
made a meme.
I made a meme that was a picture of him, and I was like, I don't remember what it was. It was like, he deserves to die for his like atrocious 2010 review of MIA's Maya. And he got very upset, and he went on a Twitter rant about how our account needed to be like mass reported and how he was being like threatened. So I don't know, like you kind of forget that your account is huge and that people get really mad about what you say.
Yeah, there's definitely consequences, which is like I try to be careful about that.
We've been taken down
twice. It's crazy who you can reach. It's
really
crazy who you can reach, because to me, I know that me and Anna are behind the account, and I know who we are, but to other people, they don't know who we are. They don't know that we are just making a light joke, or it's just crazy who you can reach, and it's crazy that those people that you are reaching don't really know who you are,
Yeah,
because I
it's
think we
crazy.
keep,
Like,
at least for us,
yeah.
we keep it private, and so
Mhm.
it's just kind of like a whole new persona that I have that nobody even knows.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's really funny, I think.
it's crazy to see what people like tweet about you too, like on Twitter. If you like search your name, like they'll not like your
We
like your
can't
meme
search
page.
our name because all we get is like the joke. We've
Oh,
tried.
that
I think we
sucks.
have
Oh
to add
yeah.
the like dots in
I
between, but
did.
because
The
we made
Twitter
ours
doesn't.
such a
Yeah,
Oh
phrase,
it's
no,
like
like
it's
that sucks. I know people tweet about you guys. I've seen them. There's
we've been
someone made a
mentioned on like a
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, there was a
Yeah, someone
TikTok
made
that
a
was like a list.
yeah, and we were all in that TikTok. I posted that one, I think.
But I think a good
But like,
trophy.
luckily, I have a name that people can like say. Like, it's just interesting to see what people say. Really.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
also
it
Sophie,
is.
you also post like actual screenshots of like
I
tweets
I
of you,
do
right?
I do a lot, and it's kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie, but it's I don't know. It's just I guess like I'm incredulous that like people would ever tweet about me. So like I have to like
Yeah.
be narcissistic about it, I guess.
But it's
So like
funny because
wow.
it it enhances like the cult around your account.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like it's like funny to like have like a following like and interact with them and like they sort of like look up to you for some reason and like it's kind of cool. I don't know. I really just appreciate like all the people who are fans of my parody songs that are really not good but they like them a lot. So like they
Do you make those like yourself as well? Like
yeah.
yeah,
I've just made two like back when like Among Us was kind of funny. I don't know if it's funny at all anyway.
I
Like
think
I
it's
just
still
like
funny. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played Among Us before, so that like adds to the humor, I think, because like I made the songs without ever playing Among Us, so I just like looked up like Among Us dictionary, like words that about like I did some
Among
research.
Us buzzwords.
Among
It's a word. It's like a real website, Among Us Dictionary. It's a real
Oh
website. It
wow.
has a list of like all the Among Us words that are like important in Among Us. So I looked through that and I was like, okay. And then I always had wanted to do a 212 parody. I've made some Minecraft parodies as well. I've never played Minecraft. I really like gamer culture. I think it's really interesting. So like I don't know. I just like wrote it. It was pretty easy. Um, I think again like because I like Tumblr history and stuff like that. I really like YouTube parodies. Like
Mm.
in this
Yeah,
like
there's
they're
so
really
much.
iconic and
And I feel
funny.
like it's also nostalgic, but it always comes
Yes.
back. Like,
It
it
really does.
always
I
comes
mean,
back.
they're classics. And they're like well written a lot of time and like well produced. It's like funny to
It's
see someone
always
like go through
clever.
the
Yeah,
effort
that's
to
what I
write it,
do.
to like
Yeah.
get the instrumental and like make the video, make the background videos, because like they're passionate about it.
Right.
But like it seems cringy, but it's also just like a feat of like like
It's
it's
very
amazing.
like impressive, and I feel like it's so cringe. But
Yeah,
I think
but
when you take it for what it
still seeing
is,
them to this
you can
day.
really
Yeah.
appreciate like, wow, there was a lot of
Hmm.
thought that worked
artistry.
into
Yeah.
this. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
No, for
that's
real.
here. There's like a lot of like, it's
And I
really
think
like,
I think like even like if the meme dies, like Among Us isn't really funny, like or like a lot of people don't think it's funny anymore. But I think like a parody of like a video game and like making a song about it like is always going to be funny because it's like why would you make this like like also why
and
would I make
everyone's
it?
always gonna remember. Like everyone's always gonna remember how big it was when it came out.
Yeah,
Like that will never not be funny. Is the
exactly.
phenomenon
Yeah.
But
of
I think it's
how
Exactly.
popular
also.
it got.
But I
It's a
think it's also really
timestamp,
interesting.
right?
Mm-hmm. I
It's very
was
much a
just.
document of the time,
Yeah.
and it's yeah,
Yeah. It references
that's
certain
very
Yeah.
food
valuable.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
I think yeah maybe we can do like one more question before we sign off. I think it would be nice to sort of. We also talked about this already a bit, but like the sort of 2012 or like early 2010s aesthetic that I think is very apparent on both of your pages. Yeah, I can have all these theories about it, but what is it for you? Like, why is that era of internet culture so important to keep referencing?
I think it's really interesting because the way nostalgia cycles work is that usually they're like about 20-year or 30-year gaps because like if you're making films, for example, the filmmakers are referencing time periods where they grew up. So, and that was, people make films when they're like, what, in their 30s, 40s. So that would be like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But for us, like, we're making things right now, but we're referencing things that we like looked at growing up. But that was only like, what, 8 years
It's
ago, because
so
we're really
easy
young.
for
Yeah,
us to
it's like all
already
accelerated.
create.
So the nostalgia
Media.
cycles are shortening. Like, we're in 2021. I honestly think like 2000s nostalgia is going to die out not too long. Like, it's not going to take that long to die out.
It's
And
not.
I've
like
seen it,
nostalgia
like-
cycles are already,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be 20 years at least, and we're already like on the
Even
8-year
like
mark.
Paris Hilton, like Y2K aesthetic
Yeah.
is already getting
Yeah.
like
Kind of passé at this
put
point.
down
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's moving fast.
Yeah, I see like people making parodies of like memes from like 2017 and like 18, which are not that long ago.
Exactly.
But, like,
yeah. And
Like,
it'll
that's
be funny
nostalgic,
too.
It'll
Yeah.
be
no,
funny.
of course.
Just
Like
when you-
memes are timeless. They really are.
So yeah, I think the interest in that cultural period comes from, one, like, people are on the internet more, so trends saturate a lot faster, especially with TikTok. Like, it had one of the biggest like growth in users that any social media app has ever seen. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
on it, and like the way that you generate content is like, Vine wasn't that related to trends. TikTok is inherently tied to like a trend. So people are cycling through things a lot faster. So stuff is gonna get old fast. And then I think that's where like the appeal of 2010s culture comes from, because like reanalyzing it through today's perspective is only beginning. Like, we've gone through the 2000s for ages now, and then that's like obviously the next step.
2010s is the next step, and it's kind of still fresh in people's minds, but it's also very foreign because of how fast we've moved on from it. So
What was
And a lot of the people who would look at those are like grown up now, so like reckoning with their like childhood. So like
Yeah, it's the
That's-
internet culture that we grew up with when we were like
exactly
in an
And that-
influenceable age.
Yeah, and I guess maybe then it's also because, like, I think you are also a bit younger than us again. Like, you already had your iPhone when you were like, I don't know, 12. Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
like I was like a little older before my first.
I-
I had an iPod Touch when I
My
was 12.
first
maybe.
mobile phone was when I was 16, so, and it was
I had
not
like
even a smartphone.
I had like a brick Motorola when I,
I
was
think
like
I was
11.
14.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
how old I am.
I definitely had an iPod
Okay.
Touch.
I had an iPod
and
Touch as well
that's
when I was.
where I got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Tumblr and
iPod Touch
everything.
gang.
Yeah.
I'm like always trying to think of
So-
like where I can look for like old stuff like that I thought was funny.
Me too.
Because I'm like,
Because
okay, like
it's almost
Tumblr.
comforting as well.
Yeah, like I've done Tumblr, I've done Reddit, I go through Instagram, I can go through Facebook, and I'm like, then I remember like, I don't know, like I'll literally go into my old like high school like grades app and then screenshot like a schedule from that, and then like probably like classes question mark or like stuff. I don't know, like I'll just like go on any app and see if I can find something.
I think I remember you posting something like that. and
Yeah,
that was
I
actually
like
really
that
funny.
one.
Yeah, I think finding any like digital documentation of what you used to be like is super interesting. I wish I had more of that for me, but it was all on old cell phones that I don't have access to anymore. And Instagram
Yeah.
only
Exactly.
invented the archive.
I've lost so
feature,
much.
like recently.
There's
because I used
so
to have-
much that I wish I could tap into,
There's
but
so
I
much.
can't.
I can't.
Like
I
on my
have
old
500
iPod Touch, it's like a gold mine. Like, cause I was so into anime, so I probably had so many like unironic like anime memes that would be so
Right. Me
Like-
too.
Yeah, I used to post
That,
like
like,
I
lost.
didn't know what American memes like. I didn't understand as much like why they were funny, but
Yeah.
all my friends were posting them and I wanted to as well. I just wanted to find them funny so bad. So if you were to scroll back on my Instagram when I was like in 5th grade, it would be just like tons and tons of like the Rage comics, the fake. Remember like the Messages app, like fake screenshots where it would be like
Yes, like kick.
like
Yeah, it's so
yeah, like
good.
you know, it would be like
Screenshot,
oh,
iMessage screenshot,
iMessage screenshots, all of those. Like,
ifunny.com.
repost this if
Oh,
you
God.
love Jesus.
I think
or
I might
the devil.
re-download
And I was
iFunny.
Jewish.
iFunny is definitely one that I will be revisiting.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
that-
I think I'm gonna read.
Such-
There's so
even
much
My
content
dad-
from iFunny.
These are all such good references, but like unfortunately, I think we can go on for hours, actually. but
Yeah,
We
sorry.
really have to wrap it up.
just as a comment,
Okay.
one last comment maybe, it's like the that you can build your own personal archive of your own experiences is like really really new, because we are in the architecture archive, which is like completely thought about by this huge amount of people all together, thinking, studying before actually archiving it. And this is like so easy just to collect all these things that remember of something, and it's like, so that's what.
Yeah,
that's
like
what-
you can like search Google for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, that marks the end of our second event.
Sorry.
We'd like to thank het Nieuwe Instituut for having us, the Thursday Night Live team for making this event possible, and the Creative Industries Fund NL for supporting us. And of course, we want to thank you, Anna, Liz, and Sophie for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. It was really
Thank you.
really a good talk.
It was a pleasure.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And yes, so yeah, and also we hope to be back next year. So keep an eye on our Instagram page at Significant Content and our website significantcontent.com for any updates, and thank you for watching.
Shall